At the beginning of the story, we're taken deep into the Peruvian Amazon rainforest, where we meet a woman named Constance Webb. She has come there with her partner Ezekiel, searching for a rare species of spider believed to hold incredible powers. During their expedition, Ezekiel tells Constance that these spiders can make anyone powerful. He also mentions a mysterious group called the Las Arañas, members of a local tribe said to possess spider-like abilities. According to legend, they can move through the trees at incredible speed, hide in the shadows, and punish evil people with their venomous sting. Constance doesn't buy into the myths. She tells Ezekiel that her research is based on science, not old stories. But while continuing the search, she suddenly feels a sharp pain in her stomach. Constance is pregnant, yet she refuses to stop and keeps pushing forward. Later, Ezekiel returns to their camp and secretly takes photos of Constance's research papers, planning to steal her discoveries. But before he can leave, Constance arrives with exciting news. She has finally found the spider they were looking for. This rare creature carries venom with mysterious abilities. Constance and her team are overjoyed, believing they've made the discovery of a lifetime, but that happiness lasts only seconds. Ezekiel suddenly pulls out a gun and murders everyone in the camp. Then he turns to Constance and tries to take the spider from her. The truth is revealed. He had been helping her all along only to get his hands on the spider. When Constance refuses to hand it over, Ezekiel shoots her too, leaving her badly wounded before escaping with the spider. As Constance lies there dying, a member of the Las Arañas tribe appears. He possesses the strange spider abilities from the legends. He carries her to a hidden sacred place and tries to save her by placing her in mystical healing waters and injecting spider venom into her body. During this moment, Constance gives birth to a baby girl, but just after bringing her daughter into the world, she dies. 30 years later, the story shifts to New York City. We now meet Cassie, Constance's daughter, who works in the city's emergency response unit alongside her partner Ben Parker. One day, while rushing a 42-year-old woman to the hospital in an ambulance, a young girl named Maddie suddenly steps in front of the vehicle. Thankfully, no accident happens, and Cassie and Ben safely reach the hospital, saving the woman's life. The woman's young son thanks Cassie and Ben for saving his mother and even gives them a heartfelt Thanksgiving letter. At the hospital, Cassie also meets the woman's stepdaughter, Julia Carpenter. Cassie is confused about what to do with the letter, but during a conversation with Ben, she learns he's in love with someone. Ben is clearly excited and can't stop thinking about her. Later, Cassie returns home with the thank you letter. In her apartment building lives another girl named Anya, and an elderly man is asking her questions about her parents. What Cassie doesn't realize yet is that the three girls she encountered, Julia, Maddie, and Anya, are all mysteriously connected to each other and to her. Cassie lives alone in her apartment with only her cat for company. Since her mother died 30 years ago, she has no real family left and often feels isolated. Whenever she feels lonely, she looks through old photos of her mother and studies her research documents. We also learn that Cassie still has Constance's research journal, filled with notes about the spiders of the Peruvian Amazon and the local tribes who worship them. The next day, Cassie is called to an emergency mission. After a car is left hanging off the side of a bridge, she and Ben rush to the scene to rescue the man trapped inside. Working together, they manage to pull him out just in time, but in the chaos, Cassie gets trapped in the car herself, and the vehicle plunges straight into the river below. As she sinks underwater, something strange begins to happen. Cassie starts seeing disturbing visions, and all around her appears a mysterious web stretching endlessly in every direction. The truth is, 30 years earlier, when a member of the Las Arañas tribe tried to save Cassie's mother by injecting her with the venom of the powerful spider, something unexpected happened. At the exact moment Cassie was born, the spider venom affected her as well. Because of that, Cassie was born with hidden abilities of her own, and now those powers were finally beginning to awaken, causing the strange visions she couldn't understand. When Cassie opens her eyes, she realizes she's already been pulled out of the river. Ben had jumped in and saved her life, but something feels off. Cassie notices Ben repeating the same sentence twice. When she asks him about it, he says he only said it once. What Cassie doesn't realize yet is that after her powers activated, she gained the ability to see a few seconds into the future. She was hearing what Ben was about to say before he actually said it. Confused and overwhelmed, Cassie has no idea what's happening to her. In the next scene, we see Ezekiel, who has become incredibly rich and powerful after gaining the spider's abilities. He attends a high-profile event where he meets a female officer from the NSA. The two quickly grow close and later become intimate. But Ezekiel's real goal is much darker. He wants to steal a special device she has, one capable of accessing surveillance cameras and electronic systems across the world. Suddenly, Ezekiel has another terrifying vision. In it, he sees Julia, Anya, and Maddie killing him. This same nightmare has haunted him for years. In the future, those three girls are destined to gain powers of their own and bring about his death. That's why Ezekiel wants the device to track them down first and eliminate them before they become a threat. Without hesitation, Ezekiel murders the officer, takes the device device, gets the password, and walks away. The next day, Cassie and Ben head to Ben's house to meet some friends. Ben's sister-in-law is pregnant, so he's hosting a small family celebration. During the party, Cassie joins Ben's wife and the other women in a fun game where everyone tries to guess the baby's future name. But in the middle of it, Cassie's visions start again. This time, it feels like she's reliving the same moment twice. She watches events happen, then sees them happen again seconds later. Cassie is completely shaken. Just then, Ben rushes in and asks Cassie to come with him on an emergency call. She quickly leaves with him, and when they arrive at the scene, they discover a factory fire where many people have been injured. Cassie immediately starts helping the unconscious victims, trying to bring them back. But once again, the visions return. She begins seeing flashes of events before they happen, like glimpses into the near future. Cassie still can't make sense of any of it. Later, she approaches her chief and begs him not to drive the ambulance himself. She tells him she wants to take the wheel instead. The reason is simple. Cassie just saw a vision of him dying in an accident, but the chief doesn't take her seriously. He assumes she's traumatized from nearly drowning and ignores her warning. He gets into the ambulance and drives off anyway. Seconds later, a car crashes into him, killing him instantly. Cassie is horrified. She blames herself, believing she could have stopped it. But Ben comforts her and tells her none of this was her fault. Meanwhile, Ezekiel gives the stolen NSA device to one of his associates and orders her to locate Julia, Maddie, and Anya. Finding those three girls is the only reason he stole it in the first place. Back with Cassie, she visits a doctor, desperate for answers. She explains the strange things happening to her, hoping there's a medical explanation. But after examining her, the doctor tells Cassie that everything appears completely normal. The doctor suggests she take a week off, relax, watch some old movies, and get some rest. According to her, after a few quiet days, everything should go back to normal. Meanwhile, while Cassie is home alone, she gets a call from Ben. He asks her to come to their chief's funeral, telling her it might help her feel better after everything that happened. After the call, Cassie notices something strange. A pigeon suddenly slams into her closed window and dies instantly. She's shaken and saddened by it. But then only seconds later, she experiences the same moment again. This time, the window is open, and the pigeon flies safely into the room before flying back out. That's when Cassie finally understands what's happening. The first moment wasn't real time. It was a glimpse of the future. She had just seen what was about to happen before it happened. Cassie now realizes that her visions are showing her future events. Soon after, Cassie heads out to attend the funeral. At the same time, Ezekiel's associate uses the city's CCTV network to track down Julia, Maddie, and Anya. She locates all three girls, but she's shocked to discover they're currently at the railway station. Once Ezekiel gets their location, he immediately heads there, determined to kill them before their future can come true. In the next scene, Cassie also arrives at the railway station on her way to the funeral, planning to take the subway. Coincidentally, Julia, Maddie, and Anya are boarding the same train. But as Cassie sits inside the subway car, her visions hit again. This time, she sees Ezekiel attacking the three girls and trying to murder them. When Cassie looks up and sees Ezekiel approaching in real life, she instantly knows the girls are in danger. Without wasting a second, she grabs all three of them and rushes off the train. But during the chaos, Ezekiel spots them too and starts coming after them. Julia, Maddie, and Anya have no idea Cassie is trying to save their lives, so they start screaming and resisting, thinking she's some kind of kidnapper. Cassie desperately tries to calm them down. Then Ezekiel appears in his spider suit, closing in on them. Seeing him approach, Cassie drags the girls and runs. While Ezekiel is distracted fighting and killing railway security guards, Cassie seizes the chance. She gets the girls into a car and speeds away. During the drive, Cassie hears on the news that the police are searching not only for Ezekiel, but for her too. Authorities believe she kidnapped the three girls. Cassie is completely overwhelmed. But when she learns that all three girls are basically on their own in the city, she decides the safest thing is to keep them with her. To protect them, she tells them to stay with her and smashes their phones so the police or Ezekiel can't track them. Meanwhile, Ezekiel orders his associate to use the city's surveillance system again to find the girls. But this time, they disappear completely. That's because Cassie has taken them far outside the city into a remote wooded area where there are no cameras at all. In the next scene, Julia, Maddie, and Anya bombard Cassie with questions. They want answers. How did she know they were in danger? Who was that man crawling on the walls like a spider? And why is all of this happening to them? Their questions trigger something in Cassie's memory. She suddenly remembers reading about people like this in her mother's research journal. She tells the girls to stay hidden in the woods, then drives back home to investigate. Once there, Cassie opens her mother's old notebook and begins reading. Inside, she finds references to mysterious spider people, known as the Las Arañas. According to the journal, local legends say their powers come from spider venom, giving them incredible speed, strength, and the ability to climb walls like spiders. The journal also reveals something even more shocking. Las Arañas can see the future. Cassie stares at the page in disbelief. She begins to wonder if she might be one of them, because she can see the future too. Curious, Cassie decides to test it by trying to climb a wall herself. But the moment she tries, she immediately falls flat to the ground. Then, while flipping through the journal, she notices a photograph of her mother standing beside Ezekiel. Cassie is stunned. She can't understand how the man hunting those girls could possibly have known her mother. Meanwhile, back in the woods, Julia, Maddie, and Anya soon run out of food. Even though Cassie specifically told them not to leave, the three girls decide to sneak off to a nearby restaurant to grab something to eat. The moment they enter the restaurant, security cameras capture them, and that's all Ezekiel needs. Through the surveillance system, he instantly gets their location and heads out to kill them. In the next scene, Cassie returns to the woods and realizes the girls are gone. She panics immediately. Fearing the worst, she starts searching for them and eventually finds them at the nearby restaurant. To her surprise, the girls are inside dancing together, laughing, and actually having fun for the first time in a while. Cassie is furious. She rushes in, scolds them, and starts dragging them out. But before they can leave, Ezekiel arrives. He immediately attacks, trying to kill all three girls on the spot. Cassie jumps in and fights back, doing everything she can to protect them. But during the struggle, Ezekiel stabs Cassie in the stomach, leaving her badly wounded. Then something unbelievable happens. In the next instant, Cassie is suddenly thrown backward through time and finds herself back in the woods before the attack ever happened. She's stunned, realizing she somehow rewound events. Knowing what's coming, she races toward the restaurant once again. This time, Cassie arrives in her car at the exact moment Ezekiel is about to strike the girls. She floors the gas pedal and slams straight into him, sending him flying and injuring him badly. Then she grabs the girls and speeds away. On the drive back, Cassie is angry and frustrated. She reminds them that they broke the one rule she gave them: stay hidden. Back at Cassie's apartment, the mood changes when the girls begin opening up about their lives. Anya reveals that years ago, her father abandoned her mother. The heartbreak destroyed her mentally, and now her mother lives in a psychiatric hospital. Her father has a new family and wants nothing to do with her. Anya says she feels completely alone in the world. Maddie shares that she feels alone too. Her family lives in China, and they believe having children ruins your life. She says they don't care about her, and she doesn't want to live with people who never wanted her. Cassie tells them they can always go to the police for protection from Ezekiel, but Julia quickly shuts that idea down. She explains that her father was deported 6 months ago. One day she came home, and he was simply gone. Since then, she's been alone too. She fears that if the police find out about her situation, they might deport her as well. When Anya asks about Julia's mother, Julia quietly says she died when she was little. Hearing all of their stories, Cassie becomes deeply emotional. For the first time, she truly understands how lost and vulnerable these girls are. She decides they'll stay with her until everything is over and they're safe. Meanwhile, Ezekiel discovers a shocking truth of his own. Cassie is Constance Webb's daughter. He's stunned by the connection. Later, Cassie has another vision, where she confronts Ezekiel directly. In the vision, he tells her the truth. He wants to kill the three girls, because in a few years, they will gain powers of their own, and together they will be the ones who kill him. Cassie glares at him and asks, "Who gave you the right to decide they should die?" She's also shocked to learn that Julia, Maddie, and Anya are destined to have powers in the future. The next day, Cassie and the girls begin bonding more than ever. They grow closer, almost like a family. Cassie even teaches them how to respond during a heart attack and save someone's life in an emergency. Later, she shows them an old photo of her mother. The girls are stunned when they notice Ezekiel standing beside Constance in the picture. Cassie then explains that her mother was researching spiders, and from reading her journals, she learned about a Peruvian tribe capable of things that seem impossible, people who can run on walls and climb trees like spiders. Determined to finally uncover the truth, Cassie decides to travel to the Peruvian Amazon herself. But before leaving, she tells Julia, Maddie, and Anya to stay with Ben Parker, because with Ben, they'll be safe. After a long journey, Cassie finally arrives in the Peruvian Amazon rainforest. While searching through the jungle, she comes across a man from the Las Arañas tribe, the very same man who tried to save her mother all those years ago. He looks at Cassie and calmly says, "I knew one day you would come." He then explains the truth. Cassie's mother had come there to study the spiders because she wanted to strengthen healing tissue and unlock their medical potential. But Ezekiel betrayed her, stole the spider, and ran. Ever since then, he has lived under a curse, constantly trying to escape the fate he created and rewrite his destiny. Without warning, the man suddenly pushes Cassie into the same mystical spring where she was born. As she sinks beneath the water, powerful visions begin flooding her mind. She sees everything clearly now: how her mother came there with Ezekiel to research the spiders, how Ezekiel betrayed her, murdered the entire team, shot Constance, stole the spider, and fled. But Cassie also sees something even more personal. She learns that when her mother was pregnant, doctors told Constance that her unborn baby, Cassie, had a deadly illness with no known cure. Desperate to save her child, Constance traveled all the way to Peru after hearing rumors that the venom of those spiders held healing powers capable of curing any disease. Everything her mother did was to save her. In the vision, Cassie is even able to meet her mother face to face. Overcome with emotion, she embraces her tightly. For the first time in her life, Cassie understands that her mother never abandoned her. She sacrificed everything for her. When Cassie emerges from the water her, she looks at the tribal man in disbelief and says, "I was there in that room with my mother. How did you do that?" He smiles and tells her, "I did nothing. You did it. You are beginning to understand your powers. You came here searching for your past, but you will leave with a new future." Cassie then says she still doesn't know how she can face Ezekiel. He's stronger, faster, can leap through the air, and climb walls like a spider. She says the only thing that matters now is saving those girls. The man tells her that she is the only one capable of changing the future. He explains that in time, she'll learn to be in more than one place at once and truly master her gifts, but only after accepting the responsibility that comes with them. In the next scene, Ezekiel orders his partner to use the city's surveillance system to locate the 3 girls again, but she can't find them. That's because Julia, Maddie, and Anya are staying safely at Ben Parker's house, where there are no cameras. That night, Ben Parker's pregnant sister-in-law suddenly goes into distress. Seeing her condition worsening, Ben quickly loads her into the car along with the 3 girls and races toward the hospital. The moment the girls leave the house, Ezekiel's system detects them. He immediately heads out to kill them. By now, Cassie has returned from Peru. When she realizes Julia, Maddie, and Anya are in danger, she rushes out to save them. Ben keeps driving toward the hospital, but Ezekiel has another plan. He orders his partner to hack the traffic lights and turn every signal green at once, creating total gridlock across the city. Ben's car gets trapped in the middle of traffic. Seeing his chance, Ezekiel moves in for the attack. But right then, Cassie arrives in an ambulance at full speed and slams directly into him, sending him crashing to the ground. Taking advantage of the moment, she tells Ben to get his sister-in-law to the hospital immediately. Cassie then takes the 3 girls into the ambulance and drives away. Not long after, Ezekiel catches up and begins chasing them again, but Cassie already knows he's coming because of her visions. The moment he lands on top of the ambulance, Cassie tells her partner to activate the wiring on the roof. A powerful electric shock surges through the metal roof and hits Ezekiel hard, throwing him off the vehicle. Cassie keeps driving with the girls, but after some distance, the ambulance completely breaks down. They can't go any farther. Thinking fast, Cassie calls for emergency air support and takes the girls into a nearby fireworks factory. She knows Ezekiel will follow them there, so Cassie and the girls begin setting fires throughout the building. Within moments, fireworks start exploding everywhere, turning the factory into chaos. Ezekiel soon arrives, but the fireworks keep blasting into him, blocking his path and slowing him down. While he struggles to get through the explosions, Cassie and the girls escape deeper into the factory, staying one step ahead of him. By now, a helicopter has arrived above the factory to airlift them out. The moment Cassie sees it, she feels a wave of hope, but there's one problem. They need to reach the other side of the building to get to it. Cassie and the 3 girls push forward, dodging explosions as fireworks continue blasting all around them. Flames are spreading everywhere, debris is falling, and the entire factory is turning into a death trap. Somehow, they manage to climb onto a massive company sign hanging high above the ground, just seconds away from reaching the helicopter. But before they can escape, Ezekiel appears. He attacks them immediately, and a brutal fight breaks out on top of the giant sign. During the chaos, the 3 girls begin slipping and are moments away from falling into the fire below. Ezekiel looks at Cassie and coldly tells her, "You can't save all 3 of them at once." But this time, he's wrong. Cassie has finally learned how to use her powers. In one incredible moment, she exists in 3 places at the same time, reaching each girl separately and saving all of them from falling. Ezekiel is furious. Enraged, he attacks Cassie and sends her flying across the platform. Now blinded by anger, he decides to kill Cassie first and starts moving toward her. But just before he can reach her, the massive sign above them breaks loose and crashes down directly onto Ezekiel. It drags him with it as he falls all the way to the ground below, killing him instantly. The truth is, Cassie had already seen this happen in one of her future visions. She deliberately lured Ezekiel into that exact spot, but he never saw it coming. As the structure collapses, Cassie is thrown off balance and falls into the river below. She's badly injured, but Julia, Maddie, and Anya somehow manage to pull her from the water and rush her to the hospital. In the next scene, we learn that Ben's sister-in-law safely gave birth to a baby boy, making Ben incredibly happy. But Cassie paid a heavy price for the battle. Because of her injuries from the fall, she has lost her eyesight. Her legs are also severely damaged, leaving her unable to walk. When the doctors ask Julia, Maddie, and Anya who they are, the girls proudly say they are Cassie's family. And now Cassie sees them as her family too. From that point on, they all begin living together happily. After the accident, Cassie's powers have fully awakened. She can now see the future more clearly than ever before and use her abilities at a much higher level. If you liked this video, check out the next one, where a boy gets the power of a lion and suddenly the whole world is after him.